How is everyone? Barb here from, where am I from? Barbstamps.com. Good grief, I almost forgot who I was. That's par for the course, right? In Sheridan, Wyoming. So welcome to the show. This is a free live stamping class that I do most every Thursday night. Of course, I do have a few Thursdays where, I can't be here, family commitments, holidays, whatnot. But for the most part, every Thursday night at 4 p.m. Pacific, 5 Mountain, 6 Central, and 7 Eastern, you will find me here on YouTube live with a free stamping class for all of you out in the world. It is free for everyone. During the class, I normally create 3 projects using a bundle or a suite or a stamp set and some dies or just a stamp set, whatever the case may be. And then you all can get the kits for free from me if you would like. Extra layer of cheese. Just had to turn my iPad down. When you place a minimum $35 order in my online store using the host code that is linked, or not linked, but it is given to you down in the description of this video. So thank you for joining me tonight. I hope everyone's having a good week. We are not having a good week here in Wyoming. It's been super windy here, and we had a fire explode on us yesterday afternoon. And it has now burned 164,000 acres of kind of grassland, prairie land, where there are, horses and wildlife and things. It's just really awful. It was started by lightning, unfortunately, and the winds were gusting yesterday like 40-50 miles an hour, and it just pushed this fire, and it is insane the amount of devastation that it's caused already. We've had the interstate closed between, my son lives in Buffalo, Wyoming. He wasn't home yesterday, so he was very concerned about his own house. But I mean, thankfully for him, but not for other people, the wind was blowing the other way. So the interstate was closed between his town of Buffalo and the city of Gillette, Wyoming. If you guys are at all familiar with Interstate 90, it kind of runs the entire length of northern Wyoming. And it was closed. It's still closed. So it's been closed for over 24 hours now. The fire is apparently 0% contained. And while the wind wasn't too crazy today, I was out with my son's dog because we were dog sitting for a while, and the wind started whipping up again. So prayers and good thoughts that we get some rain or that the wind quits and they can get a handle on this thing, because that is scary and that is a lot of acres. Anyway. So I did have my son's dog. As you guys probably knew, he was in Alaska visiting some friends, and he got home Tuesday, and then yesterday morning at 4 o'clock in the morning, he had to leave and go to Jackson Hole, Wyoming for work. So I went and picked up his dog from his friend's house on Monday evening, and then we had the dog until he just left like 10 minutes ago. So they got back from Jackson. He quickly budged over here to get his dog because he hasn't seen his dog in almost 2 weeks. Thankfully, the dog still recognized him. And he was so happy to see his dog. Oh, it was so sweet. So anyways, I had the dog for a few days, and he's a sweet dog. I don't mind having him here. He's not a problem at all. And then we're going to have him on Saturday overnight for Sunday because my son's the best man in his friend's wedding. So that's exciting. Other than that, my daughter was gone for about a week on a little vacation kind of study sort of trip. She went to visit some friends in her old college town, hung out there for a few days, did some studying at the university in her favorite study spot, took her 3rd CPA exam this morning. She said she feels decent about it, so let's hope that she did good. So that's exciting. And then she got back here this afternoon about 2 o'clock. So she'll be here for about another month, just in time to take her 4th and final CPA exam. Hopefully she passes them all. Regardless if she does or doesn't, she does have a job that starts October 7th down in Denver. So she will be heading down there, and we will be helping her move. So it's been a real fun summer having her here, and I am going to be sad when she's gone. So I'll just kind of have to enjoy the rest of the time that she's here. So I see a lot of you guys are joining me from all over. I know there's probably fires in a lot of other places too. So my heart and my prayers go out to all of you guys as well. But when it's this close to home, like 30 miles from here, that's kind of scary. So, yeah, so there's a ton of you guys joining me. That's awesome. Thank you so much. If you wouldn't mind giving me the thumbs up, that'd be great. I appreciate that so much, and it helps the YouTube algorithm, whatever that even means, to push my video out to more people, because they say, oh, people like this, people should see this, right? So yeah. So anyways, I guess that's probably really it. Like, not a whole lot else has been going on, you know, dog sitting, doing the normal thing, the working, this kind of stuff. And yeah. So my daughter has requested French toast for dinner. So she did go to the store and get that kind of thick Texas toast. It makes the best French toast. So we're gonna have that for dinner. So yeah, pretty exciting. Let's see. I just see we have some people joining from just kind of all over Canada, Myrtle Beach. I know we've got some down in Denver, Arizona, Illinois, Oregon, all over the place. So welcome, you guys. Thanks for joining me tonight. So I am going to be using the super cute Playful Ghosts stamp set tonight. This is part of our online exclusive release that came out at the beginning of July. No, I think beginning of August for customers. Is that right? No, I think it was July. I don't even honestly know. Can you tell that yeah, I don't know. It's recently released, still available. Super cute Halloween set. We don't really have a whole lot of Halloween Stampin' Up! Items this year for whatever reason. So we're gonna make this work with some of the stuff that we already have in our arsenal. So I'm pretty excited about that. I'm also using the Nested Essentials dies, which are kind of a staple in your die collection. If you don't already have them, you definitely should have them because they're really awesome and they are still available. I don't think they're in the catalog anymore, but they are part of the online exclusives and you can still get them. So if you just want to go to the store, you can just search Nested in the search line and they will come up. Okay, so I guess jibber jabber, jibber jabber. I feel like I should jibber jabber longer, but I don't really have anything to jibber jabber about. So, oh, I have a tooth problem. I still have to decide what to do about that. I went to see an endodontist, and because I have a crown on this tooth, he can't see what's underneath the crown, so he's not sure if he's going to be able to successfully clean it, I guess. I don't know. And I guess worst case scenario, I'm going to either have to have a bridge, which I don't really see how a bridge could work, or an implant, which I'm not really keen on that either because they're super expensive. So I've been practicing in the mirror smiling because it's this tooth right here. Everyone wants to see that, don't you? I've been practicing smiling, trying to see if I actually just pulled it. I know that's a bad thing to do, but sometimes the cost and the pain and the agony that you have to go through to have that, it's a lot, and I don't know if I want to do it. And then my endodontist said that the bone up on the top of your teeth, the bone at the top is less thick, so it's harder to do an implant on the top, which kind of scared me a little bit. So I don't know. I'm still, when I get news like that where, you know, it's iffy, it could go one way, then my brain kind of shuts down because I don't want to deal with it. So I kind of procrastinate, I guess, a little bit because I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to know. I don't want to have to go through I was just hoping he was going to tell me, yeah, you have a bad root canal. We can get in there and we can fix it right up and you're good to go. That was what I was hoping he was going to say. And that's not what he said. So now I have to do some thinking. So if I let him try doing the root canal and seeing if he can clean out whatever is in there and it doesn't work, then what do I do? So that's my thoughts. So Cheryl says that she's having an implant since, I think she said January, and they did a bone graft. Is yours up on the top, Cheryl? One of these top molars, is that where yours is? Pat, I wouldn't say it's necessarily a rumor, but I don't think it's going to be what you think it is. It's probably going to be some designer series paper and some stickers, like a scrapbooking kit. So I don't know. I haven't been told the full details of what's coming. Like you guys, I'm in the dark. That's the only thing I've kind of heard. We'll have to wait and see, I guess. I don't foresee it being, you know, embellishments. Like last year we had those super cute glow-in-the-dark ghosts and the glow-in-the-dark paper. I don't anticipate it being fun stuff like that, but we'll have to wait and see. So I think September 4th, whatever is coming will be released. So stay tuned. I'll let you know. All right, I'm going to flip the camera now and we're going to get stamping on some pretty cute little Halloweenish cards in my favorite Halloween colors, green, orange, and purple. So let's go ahead and flip this camera and we will get down to business, which is why most of you are probably here. And if you have any advice about getting Cheryl's got her implants on the bottom. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know. Like I said, when I get news like that, then I tend to want to just forget about it, like pretend it's not happening, you know, that kind of thing. Even though, I mean, in the back of my mind, I know it's happening and I know I have to do something. And I will, just not today. So there you go. All right, let's get down to business. So a lot of you may know that our holiday catalog is coming out. I am allowed to show you the cover of the catalog. That's all. And it's got some really cute stuff in it, you guys. And so, as I always do, I am doing a product share. You will get a sampling of everything you can see here. The 5 different ribbons I'm going to put in there. I've got 6 embellishments along with the woven leaves, the book gift boxes, and the little snowflakes. And then I have 9 designer series papers, some glimmer paper, and then the gold dipped cards and envelopes. And you'll get a sampling of all those items in your share. It's $67.99. There is a link to register for the share in the description of this video. So please, please, please register early so I can get a good count and get all my goodies in here and get them out to you guys as quick as possible. Okay. Mary says she had them pull. I've had a couple pulled already that were like at the very back, but this one's like in between 2 teeth, and I feel like that might be a little more problematic than one in the back. So that's where I'm wavering as to what I want to do. Anyway, all right, new catalog kickoff party, guys. We are getting everybody into our Facebook group. So if you are interested in this catalog kickoff party, there is a link to register for a make and take packet in the description of the video. Plus, there is also the link to register for the event if you are not a Stamp Happy Academy member. If you are a Stamp Happy Academy member, there is a link on the events tab that you can just get to the Facebook group and we will approve you. So we are right now getting people into the group. There's nothing really going on. Just when you get to the group, make sure you bookmark it or something, or add it to your favorite Facebook pages so that when we start putting stuff in there, Facebook's going to push that out to you so you'll know what's going on. Typically, we start the event a few days before the catalog goes live, and we add some fun engagement posts so that we can all get to know each other a little bit better. Kelly, Dina, and I will absolutely be going live for a meet and greet on our Stamp Happy Academy business page. So all of you should join us for that. You don't have to be a member of the group to join us for the meet and greet. Anybody can do that. And then, of course, we're going to have our 3 make and take videos where we will each do our 3 cards that are going to be in the make and take packet. So there's 9 total cards. And then we all do another live in the group where we just kind of randomly choose things out of the holiday catalog and make some really amazing projects. We have all kinds of challenges, mystery stamping, card challenges. We have a sample gallery. We're going to have a swap, I'm pretty sure. We're going to have the live events, and it's just so much fun. So please, please register so we can get you into the Facebook group. We would love to have you join us. The Iconic Imagery online class is coming out next week, and here is a sneak peek of one of the cards in the class. Woo! That is one of the cards in the class. I just got that one done, video shot and everything. So it's going to be an amazing class. I would love for you guys to join me with that. Link is in the description of this video. You can get everything shown here, or you can just get the cardstock kit, or you can just get the online only version. And again, as a Stamp Happy Academy basic or premium subscriber, you get access to all of our PDF files. All right, DSP sale. Boy, I cannot talk tonight. Yeah, it's night. It's 5 o'clock. It's night. DSP sale is still going on. 15% off your favorites. These 7 listed right here are all on the sale. So if they are your favorites and you need to get some, please go ahead and shop with me at shoppingwithbarb.com. I would love your order. Bonus days coupons, you guys. We're coming to the end. August 31st, last day to redeem them. If you haven't already, you can certainly redeem them with me if you'd like. Go to shoppingwithbarb.com. When you go to checkout, add the host code for the week, and then do the little plus here, add your coupon codes, and click apply. Mary says, Mary, all you need to do if you're already in Stamp Happy Academy is go to the events tab on the website and find the link to the Facebook group. Click on that, answer the few questions, and then we will get you into the group. All right, here's my host code for the week. It's RNCVDS9S. And if you use that host code when you're ordering with me and you order $35 or more, you will get a free kit to the projects that we're making today, along with the Season of Green and Gold PDF. So I've got a 10 card class for you with any order you place with me in my online store. If your order is $50 or more, you'll get the cardstock kit plus the Golden Green PDF plus my August Global Creative Project tutorial. That's at $50. $75, you get everything I've already mentioned, plus you're going to get a pack of the gems we're using today, and these are called the flat adhesive backed pearls. I still have a ton of other embellishments. If you don't want these, after you place your $75 order, send me an email, let me know, and I will send you a random fun embellishment if that is not your favorite embellishment. Okay? All right. The Changing Leaves online class, I still have, I think, 2 or 3 kits left, so you can get that with the link in the description. It's a beautiful class using the Changing Leaves bundle. Stamp Happy Academy, we just talked about that a little bit. If you've been a subscriber to Stamp Happy Academy since June of 2024, you get our catalog kickoff event for free. All you have to do is go to the events tab on the Stamp Happy Academy website, click on the link to the Facebook group, answer the questions, and we will get you in there. Okay? Stamp Happy Academy memberships, the best one is the premium. You get the basic and the live. We do 3 live classes every month using designer series papers, color combos, a few techniques here and there, and some fun folds. So definitely check that out. Adhesive kits, I always have adhesive kits available. And then recently I have a new zipper pull. I have a little octopus. So if you order a adhesive kit from me, you will either get an octopus or an ice cream cone. And if you have a preference, just message me and let me know. All right, and finally, I do have some free downloads on my blog. That is barbstamps.com/shop. You'll go to my blog store, kind of scroll through with the things there, and every time I add something, it pushes everything down a little bit. But there are like 4 or 5 free downloads on there, one of which is my Stampin' Blends download. A lot of you guys love having a little sticker on the end of your markers, and this download for you is absolutely free. I plan to keep updating that every time Stampin' Up! Adds new colors. And so just be mindful that I have that for you, and it is completely free. I know some people charge for that. I don't feel like I need to charge for it. It's a simple thing to put together, and there you go. Okay. Like I mentioned, we're using the Playful Ghosts and the Nested Essentials and today's cards. So you will need to have these items in order to make the cards as I have designed them. I will send you the Precut Cardstock Kit and the Designer Series papers, everything else that you need, but you will need to have these 2 items in order to make the cards as I have designed them for you today. So, card number 1, we have a basic black card base, because of course Halloween, you have to have some black. We have a 4x4 piece of basic white, and I also have a 4x5 1/4 inch piece of basic white for the inside. I'll show you the inside in a minute. And then you are going to need to get, so I'm going to send you a couple strips of Designer Series paper, one in Granny Apple Green, one in Pumpkin Pie. So you're going to need to use your die that comes in the Nested Essentials. This is, I think, the second largest. It actually measures, the die itself measures 2.5 by 3, okay? So on the pumpkin pie piece, you're going to run it through your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine like this with the die basically at the bottom of the paper. You're going to run it through. You're going to get this little piece here. And then you're going to run this other, I've got some fuzz there, the other end onto the Granny Apple Green there at the top. And then you're going to get this little piece right here, okay? So I'll give you the papers. You're going to need to die cut those things. All right. I'm also going to give you a 1 3/4 inch circle in these 3 colors, Pumpkin Pie, Granny Apple Green, and Highland Heather. And we are going to be using these, and we're going to be stamping these cute little ghosts on these. So I'm going to get my little ghosts out of my bucket here. We're going to use some Memento ink. I'm going to move these over. And I also need a scratch paper. Okay, so we're going to put our circles on here like so, and then we're going to ink up each of these little fun ghosts in our Memento and stamp them on the circle. Now clearly these little ghosts are a little bit big for the circles, so we're going to kind of use just the top section. So we're going to put our little vampire ghost. So you can see how I'm putting his little, actually he must be a cat ghost up towards the top. And then we're going to stamp that. So there is our friendly little vampire ghost cat. And then we have our cute little ghost in a pumpkin. We're going to do that on the Pumpkin Pie layer. So we're going to do it about like that. Super cute. And then we have our little flying ghost witch, and we're going to stamp that little friend on the granny apple green. And so we're going to try to get as much as we can on there. Obviously, we can't get the whole thing, but we'll get what we can. Okay? And that's pretty much it for those, for the stamping on those circles. Then we're going to bring in our layer of white, and I have the 3 colors of ink. Let me get these stamps out of the way here. We've got some pumpkin pie and some granny apple green, and then the Highland Heather. Or actually, I'm using Gorgeous Grape. Sorry, I meant Highland. I thought I had Highland Heather. It's actually Gorgeous Grape. The paper is Highland Heather. Okay, so we have an adorable little cloud. So we're going to ink this up in our granny apple green, and we're going to stamp that. Ooh, I feel like I have a little fuzzy or something on there, and I don't want that to interfere with my stamping. Okay, so I'm going to stamp that about right here in the corner. Okay, you may be wondering, what are you doing, Barb? This is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be putting our little circles in kind of a grid pattern, and then we're going to fill in over here with just a few little stamped images. So we've got a cloud. Next we've got the phrase Happy Halloween, and I'm purposely not making it straight because it's hard to make things straight, you know what I'm saying? And then we have a little bat, and we're going to stamp that about like so. So that's what we have for our card right there. So now we just kind of need to put everything together. So let me close up my ink so I don't make a mess. And then we're going to add all of our little circles to the layer of white. All right. So let's go ahead and get a little bit of adhesive. I should probably use some liquid glue. I may change my mind after this. We'll see. All right, so we're going to add these. So what we're trying to do is have equal distance on the side and the top. I just kind of laid that on there. I didn't press it down super hard. Actually, I think I am going to use my liquid glue. That way, then if I have to wiggle it around, I'll be able to. Okay, and then this one, again, equal distance on the side and at the bottom as best we can, to kind of mimic what we did up there on the pumpkin. And then a little glue here on our little cat vampire. Over here, again, trying to use the same distance, same amount of white showing on the sides and at the bottom. I think that's going to work out all right. There we go. Okay. Then we're going to add our little pumpkin pie banner at the bottom of our basic black layer, about maybe, I don't know, 1/4, 3/8 of an inch from the fold line. Okay. And then we're going to add the top piece up at the top. I keep losing my glue, and what's happening is I keep putting it back in this little holder thing that I have. All right, so I'm going to try to like mimic the placement. So I'm going to have a little bit of the black showing up there. I think we need to scooch it over just a bit. We want it to look like maybe that the banner is complete all the way down, when it actually is not, because we're going to stick this on there, and then it'll just look like it is. So I'm going to use some dimensionals on this. And I'm going to go with 5, 1 in each corner, and then 1 in the middle. Pick off the backings here. Jan says, such great colors. Thank you so much, Jan. I appreciate that. These are my favorite Halloween colors. I am not a fan of kind of like scary Halloween stuff. I am a huge fan of cute Halloween stuff. And this, to me, is cute Halloween stuff. All right. So then for the inside, I went ahead and stamped our cute little kitty vampire, and I colored his cape in basic black light Stampin' Blend. I did the inside of the cape in a dark pumpkin pie, and then his kind of mask I did with light pumpkin pie. Stamped a couple of clouds up there in Highland Heather, and then the boo in the Granny Apple Green, and that is going to be our inside. So let's go ahead. So I have to ask, how many of you guys actually have this set? Let me know in the comments if this is a set that you have. I just think it is so cute. Now, you may have other sets at home that have similar sized images, and you could still place your order. You know, you could order whatever you wanted. You could order the stamp set. I think it's like $20, which isn't too terrible. But yeah, so there is the card. So I'm going to pull in these little gems. The reason I wanted to use these is because, to me, they kind of have the hues, like when you're wiggling them around, they can be green and they can be purple and they can be kind of orange. And I just thought these would go great with the color combos that I picked. Because most of my cards are this kind of color combo, you know, in some fashion. And so I just thought that would be kind of fun. All right, so let's see. How do we want to do this? I kind of feel like maybe I want to add one here. Maybe a big one. Because like I said, right now, I mean, in my camera view, they're kind of purple. But if I wiggle it around, they're going to kind of turn green. And they might actually kind of turn a pinky kind of orangey color, which I just think is pretty fun. And then finally, I think I'm just going to put all the gems in this kind of section. Oh, whoops, I missed that. Just because we kind of have something in this section and then we have that. So there we go. So that was pretty simple. I hope you guys liked that. And you know what you could do? You could change this up. You could make this to be Christmas. You could have little Christmas images here instead on the same circles. You could use the exact same layout. You know, we have these papers. This is actually our Brights 6x6 Designer Series paper stack. And so, of course, we have it in the Regals where you could find red and old olive, or you could do Mossy Meadow or Poppy Parade, and you could make this a Christmas card rather than a Halloween card. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so use your imagination and just do whatever you can do with it. All right, so let me go ahead and put those goodies back in the bucket, and let me clean off my stamps, at least some of them. The little characters I'm going to leave because they're going to end up, if I use them again, which of course I am, they're going to be black. I got some ink on the front of my ink pad there. You know me and my messy fingers, I seem to always get ink on my ink pads when I close them, and I still, to this day, cannot quite figure out how I do it. Thanks, Jan. Jan loves it and she's going to use it again. That's what I want to hear, because that's what we're here for. This is a free stamping class. So it's not all about, you know, getting a free card kit with your order. It's also about me teaching you how to do some stamping and giving you some great ideas. And I think this is a great idea for multiple stamp sets, multiple occasions, all kinds of stuff like that. All right. Moving on to card number 2. So card number 2, we've got some Granny Apple Green. And so I've got a card base that's Granny Apple Green. So this is 8.5 by 5.5. And then I have a layer of Granny Apple Green that has some embossing with the leaf embossing folder. And I will do that for you. Your piece of Granny Apple Green will come with the leaves embossed. Okay. Then we have a layer of white for the inside. I'll share it with you in just a moment. This is 4 by 5.25. Then we also have some goodies here that I'm going to need your help with. Okay. So you're going to get a piece of white in your kit, and you can turn that into this layer here. Or if you don't have these dies, you can just cut a strip. You know, that would work just fine too. But if you do have these dies, this die here, the actual die itself measures from point to point about 2 3/8 of an inch. And then this way it's about 4.5. So this is the second largest, I think this is called a polygon. Second largest polygon that there is in the set. Okay. Then you're going to get some white scraps to do some stamping. So here's a white scrap, and here's a note to myself to how I wanted to do the card. So I'm going to use my note and make the card the way I want it to. I also found some green linen thread. I don't remember where this came from. I think it was a duo pack of some sort back in the day, and I still have some. So we're going to use that on our card. So you will get a little piece of this that you can tie a bow with, since I have enough. And then you're going to get some Designer Series paper pieces. And you're going to cut out 3 of these banners. Now you can see mine aren't full banners. That's because I screwed it up. I will give you a big enough piece that you can get your banners on there, but you are going to need to die cut them. Like you'll put 1 banner on there. You're going to, like at the edge of the paper, you're going to cut that out. You're going to put the banner again next to the hole that you just cut out, cut it again, put the banner next to the hole and cut it out again. So you're going to need 3 of these banners. Now, again, you don't need the top of the banner. So if it doesn't work out, your machine, your die slips or something like that, and you don't get a full top, that's fine, because we're going to tuck them under this piece here. So if they're not perfect, it's going to be fine. All right. And this little banner measures 1 1/4 by about 2 1/2 is the size. And I think this is the second smallest banner. Okay. All right, and then we're going to have to decide, you and I today, whether we're going to have a Daffodil Delight tiny banner or a Pumpkin Pie tiny banner, but we'll talk about that in just a minute. All right, so here is my scrap here. We're going to stamp the cute little pumpkin ghost on that. So let me ink him up really well, and we will stamp him on this scrap piece of white. And we are going to fussy cut this out. And I know fussy cutting, some of you are, I can hear you groaning already. But it's really not that hard to fussy cut this out. So I don't think it's going to be a problem. We're going to color it in. I've got this says dark pumpkin pie. This is my light. I'm like, I don't want to use dark. Okay. Aloha from Cam. I think it's Cam. Am I correct? Is that right, Ana? Tell me if I'm correct. Hopefully I'm correct and I'm not mispronouncing your name. I am the world's worst pronouncer. I try, but you know, I'm not always the greatest. All right, so I'm starting with a light pumpkin pie, and I'm just going to say it right now because I don't have this right underneath my eyeballs, like right up to my face. It's possible that this one that I'm coloring while we're live here is not going to be colored so beautifully. But I already have one done that is colored nicely that I was able to have right up to my eyeballs, and therefore I did a nicer job on it. But I do struggle to see at this distance, and of course my camera is above the work surface, so I can't totally see straight down. So anyway, hopefully you'll forgive me. All right, so again, light pumpkin pie for the pumpkin here. All right, and then I am doing light pumpkin pie on this little section right here. I think that's it for light. Then I'm going to bring in some Daffodil Delight. This is a light Daffodil Delight. And I'm going to color a little bit on these outer sections of this pumpkin. And then the mouth and the eyes. All right. And so if you can't quite see what's happening here, is I'm getting a little bit of lighter coloring on that pumpkin by adding the Daffodil Delight over the pumpkin pie. All right. Oh, Ina, that makes much more sense. Ina Cam. Okay. Sorry about that. I told you I'm not the best. I try, but thank you for correcting me. All right. So some dark at the top of his little hat. And then I'm going to just very gently do my dot motion where I just kind of tap the bullet tip up and down to fill in that very skinny little section, because it's very hard to draw with a marker in a very small section. Kind of like this little pumpkin top here, the stem. I'm going to do the tapping motion on that as well. And then I'm also going to bring in, this is one of our, what do you call it? Natural tone Stampin' Blend markers. This is the number 1000. It's kind of a really pale pink. You could probably use petal pink or maybe a light flirty flamingo or pretty in pink. But I'm just going to dot that on his mouth so that he looks like he's, you know, got a mouth there. And then finally, I'm going to bring in a smoky slate light marker. And I'm going to go along the inside of the ghost. Now, I wish this marker was just a skosh lighter, but it isn't. And so it is what it is. That's just going to kind of define our little friend here, give him some more dimension. All right, and then we're going to cut him out. So we're just going to kind of go around, and I've mentioned this before, but you know, you always get new people watching you. When I'm doing my fussy cutting, my right hand holds my scissors, and all my right hand is doing is opening and closing the blade. That's it. My left hand is doing all the guiding of the paper. So my right hand strictly opening and closing the blade, left hand doing all the maneuvering, which seems kind of weird because, you know, I am a right-handed person, so you would think my right hand would be better at maneuvering, but I'm not sure if I could even cut with left hand. I guess if you can get left-handed scissors, that would probably work. Anyway, that's how I do it. And so, like I said, it's not too terrible. It's not awful to cut this out. Now, I'm not sitting here saying I'd want to cut out 100 of them, but you know, if I had to cut out 10, that would not be bothersome to me. I can do this kind of thing while I'm watching TV, get my special reading glasses on so I can really see what I'm doing. And my husband sometimes watches TV that I don't really care about. That sounds terrible, but I don't. But he likes me to be there with him, and I like to be in the living room with him too. So we watch TV together. I do a lot of crafting projects and work, and he watches TV. Okay, so there's our cute little friend. Now, my note told me to cut this out first because after we cut that out, we need to do a couple more stamping items. So he's going to sit on this polygon in the middle. And then we also have this adorable little 2 pumpkin things here. What about using the color lifter to take a little of the gray out? I don't want to do it on this particular one, but you know what? I got a scrap here. Let's see if that would work. Here's a scrap. Let's try it. Courtney has a good idea. All of a sudden I lost my memento. Here's some. And we're going to try this. It's possible that it might work because the color lifter is supposed to lift the color. So we'll see if it will lift some of the gray so that it's not quite so dark. Okay, so we'll try our little pumpkin friend again here. And we'll come on the inside. So we could stand to have a super light gray that would really be helpful for, like, you know, when you're trying to ground something. Like a lot of times you'll stamp an image, but you want it to look like it's actually sitting on the ground. And a little lighter gray would work really good for that. Okay, color lifter. Let's just take a look-see here. And we'll go over this. Oh, wow, my color lifter is quite juicy. Okay. We went over that, and we'll just sort of see what happens. I'll set it up here for just a second while we work on this. So we have our little pumpkin friend. He's sitting right in the middle. So I'm going to bring in a pencil, and I am going to draw just a very light mark on his body and kind of around his arm. Pumpkin body arm. Okay, because then that's where I'm going to stamp these 2 little pumpkins here, because he's going to be popped up on a dimensional. And then these little pumpkins are going to kind of look like they're sort of behind him, sort of. So I had to know where he was going to be so I would know where to stamp them. And so on this side, I'm just going to bring this in ever so slightly, like so. So I just barely kind of cut into his arm and just a little bit on where the bottom of the pumpkin goes. And then this one here, I'm going to bring this one in and do the pumpkin again, like so. Okay, so then we're going to color those in, and then when he's standing here, it kind of looks like the pumpkins are like behind him, right? Let's take a look at our thing. Oh, and I don't know if it's because my color lifter is too juicy. Where is it again? Let me scribble it on a scrap here and see if I was to have it not quite so juicy and try this again, if that would work. Okay, I'll go ahead and set that aside. So now the little pumpkins, we're going to kind of do the same thing we did before, but now before we actually color them, we're going to take our, oh, whoops, that's not my good eraser. Here's my good eraser. And I don't even know what makes it so good, but it just is. I don't really have any troubles with it. Okay. All right. Light pumpkin pie. Again, I apologize if I go out of the lines and whatnot because, like I said, I just can't see as well with this angle. So we're going to try our best. All right, and we'll come over here and get this little pumpkin. Honestly, I'm not doing too bad. Okay, and then I'm going to bring in the yellow again, just to add a little bit of color, a little bit of highlight, I guess, because pumpkins aren't, you know, always completely orange. Sometimes they have a little yellow on them, sometimes they have a little green, it just kind of depends. So I'm going to do that on a couple of these areas, like that. And then our granny apple, we're going to do the dot technique again, where we're just going to dot very gently to get those things colored in. Hopefully, oh, I didn't do too bad. Okay. Whoops, I do see a tiny little spot here where I didn't get the pumpkin pie, like the back-ish section. Okay. All right, let's bring this back in. I don't know. I feel like it kind of, what's the word? Like it blurred it or something? What do you guys think? I don't know. I don't know if I like the kind of, I don't know what the word is. Can somebody help me out with what word I'm looking for? How this kind of, what did this do here? I'm at a loss for the right word. I don't know if I like it or not. I can't decide. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. So I'm going to go ahead and use this one here. Oh, Courtney said just a scooch. I did maybe way too much. I didn't fully read your whole message. Feathered. That's a good word. Yes, Trish, thank you. It's feathered. So I don't know if I love it. I don't hate it, but I don't know if I... Bleeds. Yes, Mary, thank you. Gosh, you guys, I don't know what in the world is going on. Sometimes the words just aren't there. You know what I mean? Yes, so it bled or it feathered. Perfect words. Those were exactly what I was trying to say and could not come up with the right words there. Okay. So that's how that's going to look. And where's my lid? Use the lifter to lighten it. Oh, I just tried that though, Michelle, and it didn't work out the way I wanted it to. So maybe it was me. Maybe I didn't do it right. I don't know. I don't love it, so I'm not going to do it. Okay, so here's this. It was worth a try. Absolutely, it was worth a try. I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive to the bottom here. And again, maybe my stuff was too juicy. Maybe my color lifter is too juicy. I don't know. Maybe I don't know what I'm doing. That's probably the key right there. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. So let's bring our 3 little banners in here. And I'm going to put this one in the middle. So I'm just going to press that down. And then this one that's next to it, I'm going to have a little bit of a gap. Okay. And then this one here. So I don't want them all to be exactly the same length. I want them to be varied a little bit. And I want there to be a tiny gap in between them. So there we go. That was very simple. I was kind of wondering in my mind, how was I going to pull that off? I pulled it off just fine. Okay. Now I'm going to add some dimensionals to this label here. And then maybe we need some on these banners just because we need them to stand up. So that worked out pretty good. Good suggestion about that color lifter though. All right. There. So now you can see why it didn't matter if you ended up cutting part of the top of the banner off, because you don't need the whole thing anyway. So, all right. So I'm putting my leaves are going to be down in this corner. If you want to flip yours around and put your leaves up there, obviously you can do it any way you want to do it. This is how I'm going to do it. And then I'm just trying to center this from side to side. I'm not necessarily looking to center it from top to bottom, even though it looks like it mostly is, but it doesn't have to be. Okay, then our final thing here is these 2 little tiny banners. I stamped the word boo on both of them, but now I don't know which one I want to use. So let me glue this down to the card, and then we will sort of see what you guys think. I'll ask you to decide for me whether you want the yellow or the orange, or daffodil pumpkin, or whatever you want to, however you want to say it. Okay, but I was thinking of putting the little boo right up here at the edge in the corner. Okay, so there it is, daffodil boo. And then of course we will have our little fun friend here like this. Okay, everybody take a good look. And now the pumpkin. I feel like when I first made the card, I was like, it's got to be pumpkin pie because everything else is pumpkin pie. But then I thought, but the yellow is a nice contrast. So I don't really know what to do. So you guys help me figure that out. While you're figuring that out, I'm going to go ahead and add some gems to the thing. And I feel like I'm going to put 2 over here. Maybe 2 small ones. And then I feel like if I stuck another one over here, kind of right above my bow, that might be kind of helpful. Okay, what's everyone saying? Yellow. Ah, Mary, you're funny. She says Wisconsin. That must mean yellow cheese. I love that. Yellow, 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 yellow. Everybody says yellow. Okay, you guys were kind of thinking along the same lines as me, because when I stuck it on there, I was like, the pumpkin looks okay, but it just needed something. And I would, yeah. So yay. Great minds think alike, you guys, right? Okay, so let's get this here on the edge of our layer. So cute. And then let's get this bow. So I'm going to take a glue dot and I'm going to roll it up into like a little tube with the edge of my fingernail. So now I have this tiny little tube looking glue dot. And I'm going to stick that right on the back of my knot here of my little bow. And then we're going to stick this right here on the edge of our little banner piece. And then I'm going to cut off some of the excess little string here. Let's see what we got. Oh, they're almost the same length, but not quite. Okay, and then for the inside, I went ahead and stamped that cute little pumpkin again. Didn't do the gray this time. And then I added the little Happy Halloween in Granny Apple Green. So let's go ahead and get this added to the inside. All right. So stinking cute. Okay. There it is. Isn't that cute? I just love him. He's so cute coming out of that pumpkin. Let's take a look at this thing again. Like I said, it's not terrible. I don't hate it. I just don't like it as well as the straight lines because I'm pretty anal, so things need to be like straight and narrow all the way around. You know what I'm saying? For me to be okay with it. So that's a Barb problem, honestly. All right. So thank you guys for helping me figure that out. All right, so let me get the supplies for our third card over here now. Oops, that was pretty loud. My apologies. All right, so for this card, we've got a Granny Apple Green card base again, the 8.5 by 5.5. We have 2 pieces of basic white. One is for the inside, one's for the outside. Here's the inside. I'll share that in a minute. Here's our outside. You're going to get a piece of gorgeous grape, big enough to cut the largest polygon. Okay, this is the largest polygon that's in the Nested Essentials set. You're going to get a piece of basic black, and this measures, what's the measurement here? 3.5 by 2 1/8. And then you're going to get a piece of white. Where is mine? Oh, for heaven's sakes, Barb. Why don't I have a blank one? I don't. Well, you need one of these Nested Essential guys. Is this the right one? Yes. I need to find my die and some white paper, and I need to cut this. Hang on, let me grab my baby boss. And of course, you probably heard that beautiful crashing sound of me dropping all the plates on the ground. Okay, hold on. I need a piece. I need to get myself a little scrap of white here. And then we're going to die cut that label. Okay, so we need to make our sandwich. So we've got our base plates, one of our cutting plates, the die, and another cutting plate. And we're going to run this through. Oops, there we go. And we're going to get our label. All right. There's our label. And we're going to need to stamp our little flying ghost friend on here. But I do need to scrap paper because it is going to go off of the label just a bit. All right, so let me tap, 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 ink this up really well. And then I'm going to stamp this. I kind of want to have it a little bit cattywampus so that it looks like it's kind of flying up into the sky. So we'll see if I can make that happen. Okay, close enough. All right, so now we're going to color in our cute little friend here. We've got some black. Welcome, Sue, not a problem. And I'm going to use my dotting motion kind of on the brim here of this little hat. Sort of dotting, sort of swiping just barely. And then we're going to color in the cape. This is the one I was actually most concerned about going out of the lines because there's some really tiny little spots in there that are kind of hard to see, for me anyway, if I can't get too close enough to it. But that didn't work out too terrible. And then over here, the edge of the cape, just need a little bit there. Okay. Then we need our light. This is actually peach pie. Okay. So we're using the dark peach pie. Excuse me. I think I said light, but I meant dark. And we're going to do every third stripe. And I'm definitely using the dotting motion for most of this because it is a pretty skinny little section. All right, and then we're going with light granny apple green in the next sections down. And we'll get this one. This one's a little wider, so I can do a little more actual coloring motion there. And then this is a light Highland Heather. Get some of that. Again, these are my most favorite Halloween colors of all time. And I need the gray back because I'm going to do the little patch up here in the gray. And this is the light smoky slate. And then this cute little buckle. Okay. And then I'm going to use the peach pie again for the broom, the kind of bristles here. These little bristly guys. All right. And then I'm going to use the Highland Heather for the band around the bristles. This little guy here at the end of the broom handle. And then the Granny Apple Green for the broom handle. And again, the slight motion dotting of that. Okay, cute. Then we also need the little bats. Where did I put the bats? Bats, where are you? Does anybody see the bats? Oh, I see them. Here we go. Okay, so it's actually a single bat. It's one bat. All right, so here's the bat. I'm going to twist it just slightly so it's kind of flying out of the frame there. And then we're going to do the little stars with the different colors. And again, just ever so slightly touching the paper with the tip of this marker here is enough to get enough color down in this tiny, tiny little spot. So just, like I said, ever so slightly. And these do tend to bleed a little bit like we talked about earlier. So just a tiny little dab should color in the whole thing. Okay, so we're going to attach this to the edge of our black piece. Oh, I forgot to color the little mouth. So let me bring in my same marker that I used on the other card. The Stampin' Up! 1000 marker. Okay, where did that go? Here it is, because I do need to get, their cute little mouths are open and they're so cute. Okay, like that. Then we're going to get some of this peach pie ribbon, and I'm going to tie mine around a StazOn cleaner bottle. I'm going to tie it into a knot. Need to make it so it's going to look nice, hopefully. We'll see what happens. Oh gosh, no, start over. That was going to be terrible. That was going to be terrible. We're going to start that over. Okay, here we go. Try that one more time. There is a specific way that I do this, and if I don't do it in a specific way, then it doesn't always work out so nicely. That's better. Okay, so give me some scissors. I'm going to snip off the edge there. Okay, so there's my bow. I want my knot to be in the middle, so I'm going to hold my knot there. I'm going to cut my ribbon. Those scissors are not my ribbon cutting scissors because they are not cutting the ribbon very well. They're paper cutting scissors. All right, so I'm kind of putting this in the center of the space between the white layer and the rest of the black here. And I'm going to tape it down with some Scotch tape. I'm going to pull this little section up, try to have it be in the same area. Pull that down and then do that. And I'm going to bring in my heavy hitters. These are my good scissors. These cut ribbon really good for me pretty much every time. There we go. Stampin' Up! Used to sell them and they should bring them back, although a lot of you probably have them. So all right, let me get some, I need some space to work. Okay, so we have our card base, we have our adorable layer, we have our piece here that we can do a little stamping on. So I'm going to bring that cloud image back in along with some Highland Heather ink, and we're just going to do some kind of random stamping on this piece here. All right, so we are getting this just kind of going around. Is this Highland Heather? Oh, it is. Okay, for a second there I was like, this seems dark, but it should dry a little bit. All right, so we're going to do that. So just randomly stamp yourself some clouds on this piece. And I'm going to stamp one up there. Coming down, over here, and over here. Okay, so then, and you might want to snip off this point just because it can kind of be in the way. So we're going to add this polygon to the card about like so. So it's about 1/4 inch from the top, bottom, and side. And then we're going to bring our little label in, and this is going to be, actually we're going to scooch this over just a little further. Then we're going to put this down like so. So that's how it's going to look. Then I'm going to give you, from the Potions and Spells bundle, there's these super adorable little bubbles, and I'm going to die cut you a few bubbles out of our Peach Pie Glimmer paper. The paper is Gorgeous Grape, and then I stamped on it in Highland Heather. The grape on the grape, to me, was just a little more, it was darker than I wanted it to be, so I opted for the Highland Heather. Okay, so we have these little goodies here, super cute. So that's basically what, oh no, we need white. I was like, this doesn't look right. That's because we need a layer of white. Duh. That's going to make it so much better. Wow. Something was really not right here for a little bit there. And I was like, what is going on? Why does this not look right? It's because I forgot a layer. Okay. So we're putting this on the white layer. That's the plan. Not perfectly centered, like I said. So a little bit off from center, as you can tell. And then this little guy is going to go on here. And I'm going to use dimensionals for that. If I can find my dimensionals. Well, here's some dimensionals. And I'm not putting them on the ribbon because I don't want to add any more bulk than is already on there. So I'm going to add them on, not on the ribbon. It should still be fine. If you really want to put a piece of something there, you can bring in a mini and you can just stick it right here at the edge if you think that you need to. Oh, these are my dimensionals out of a kit. And sometimes they are a little harder to peel off. So if I press my fingernail into those, then they kind of lift off and make it a lot easier for me. Okay, so this little guy is going to be kind of centered. So something like that. And then we're going to stamp our sentiment, which is going to say, I think, Happy Halloween. Yeah, I think we're going to say Happy Halloween. And I need some Granny Apple Green ink. So our Happy Halloween is going to go right below our layer of black. So right here. Cute. And then we're going to add our little glittery bubbles on here. Okay. One glittery bubble there. One glittery bubble there. And I think I mentioned this, but you will get the glittery bubbles in your kit already die cut. I will give those to you. And then here is our inside. So I stamped the same little ghost. This time I did go around it with the gray. You can sort of see that. And then I pulled out a trick or treat from another set that I had. This is called Throughout the Year. If you don't have this set, you could put anything in there. You could use Happy Halloween again, or the Boo, or the smaller trick or treat. I just wanted it to be a little bit larger. So if you have that set, that works great. And then I did stamp a couple of the bats and their stars in there as well, just to jazz up the middle a little bit. So let's get this on the inside here, and then we will get our gems on. Okay, and then this is going to go on the front, like so. Okay, and then now I'm not exactly sure where I want these gems. If I kind of want them up in the clouds, maybe. Well, you can always put one underneath a sentiment. That's kind of a given spot where you can add a gem if you so desire. I don't know. Maybe I don't even need gems on this one. Maybe I'm going to change my mind. We'll see. I'm not going to stick them down super hard, just in case I do decide to change my mind. Well, if I could get it down at all, that would be helpful. There. Okay. And then that one. I don't know. I don't love the gems, but I don't know. And Cheryl says not with the glimmer paper. That's kind of what I'm thinking too. So you know what? We're going to pick them off. Because like I said, I didn't stick them on there super hard. Because sometimes I do that. Sometimes I look at things and I go, I don't know if I want you to be in that spot. That one didn't even take its sticky with it. So that worked out pretty good. Yeah, Cheryl's right. We don't need gems that are multicolored when we have some glimmer paper. Yeah, I think that's better. Good call, Cheryl. And so there it is. Card number 3. So cute. Let me push all these junk to the side so I can bring in the rest of my projects. And also, I wanted to remind you guys that I do have product shares available for this holiday catalog. And if you are into product shares, if you'd like a sampling of all the goodies in the catalog, most of the goodies, I should say, then definitely click the link in the description of this video and choose which shares you would prefer. The I Want It All, of course, is the best. You get everything. Or you can just get paper, or you can get... I can't even remember. They're all listed in there. But yeah, there's a link in the description if you're into product shares. Anybody can buy them. Demonstrators, customers, anyone. All right. And here are my 3 cards. I hope you guys loved them as much as I did. I had so much fun making these. These little ghosts are so stinking cute. And again, I am a very cutesy Halloween person. I don't like the goth and the scary and the it's just icky to me. If you like it, that's great. I just personally don't. I like the more fun, cutesy, and I love these colors. These are my favorite Halloween colors of all time, purple, green, and orange. So thank you guys so much for hanging with me tonight. I appreciate it so much. If you wouldn't mind giving me the thumbs up if you haven't, that would be awesome, because YouTube loves that. And if you can share it, I know there's like a little share button somewhere. If you're able to share it, that would be awesome. I would love that too. And I hope you guys all have a fantastic evening, a fantastic week, and I will see you again right here next Thursday, guys. All right. Bye-bye.